Have you ever met a man who argues with Google Maps?
You know the type. The GPS says, turn left, but he says, I know a shortcut. And then, 45 minutes later, you're both lost in the middle of nowhere. That, my friends, is the male ego in action. Today, I want to take you on a little journey. We're going to climb the levels of the male ego, from its smallest sparks to its most outrageous flames. Don't worry, this isn't about bashing men. It's about understanding how ego works, why it shows up, and maybe, just maybe, how to handle it better. The seed of ego. At its root, ego isn't bad. Ego is tied to identity and self-worth. For little boys, the seed is planted early. The moment someone says, "Wow, you're so strong," or "You're so smart." From then on, ego becomes this little inner narrator saying, "Prove it. Keep proving it." At this stage, the male ego is fragile. It's easily bruised by small things. Losing a video game, getting picked last in sports, or being told by a sibling,
You can't do that. That sting? That's the first level of ego.
the teenage ego. Now, fast forward to the teenage years. The ego goes through puberty too. This is when pride and insecurity wrestle constantly. A teenage boy's ego thrives on comparisons. Who has more muscles? Who can talk to more girls? Who's better at basketball, or cricket, or gaming, or TikTok dances? At this level, ego is like a balloon, easily inflated, but just as easily popped. One insult, one rejection, and the whole balloon deflates. That's why teenage boys can act so tough one moment and so crushed the next. The adult ego, here's where things get interesting. As men enter adulthood, the ego starts to wear a suit and tie. It becomes tied to roles: provider, protector, professional. The levels look like this. Work ego: I am what I do. A promotion feels like proof of worth. Losing a job feels like losing identity. Relationship ego: I am who I'm with. Compliments from
The ego. Criticism? Oof, that hits deep.
status ego: I am what others think of me. The car, the house, the title, these become symbols of success. At this stage, ego drives ambition. It can push men to achieve great things, but it can also lead to burnout, jealousy, or the inability to admit when they're wrong. The dangerous ego. Now let's climb higher. This is where ego becomes not just personal, but defensive. Signs of this level: refusing to ask for directions. Classic. Turning every argument into a competition. Needing to win, even when there's nothing to win. This level of ego protects pride at all costs. A man here may say, "I'm not wrong. The world is." And that's dangerous, because it closes off growth, vulnerability, and connection. The transcendent ego. But here's the twist. Ego doesn't have to be an enemy. At the highest level, ego evolves. It becomes self-awareness. The transcendent male ego isn't about needing to be the stro.
It's about saying, I don't know, and that's okay.
I made a mistake, and I can learn from it. I don't need to win every battle to know my worth. This level takes maturity, humility, and a lot of inner work. But it's also where peace lives, because when ego stops driving the car, life becomes a lot smoother. The love ego. And then there's the love ego. Out of all the levels of male ego, this one is the most sensitive, and honestly, the most dangerous when hurt. The love ego is built around relationships, affection, and validation from a partner. It's that deep belief: if the person I love doesn't see my worth, maybe I don't have any. Here's the tricky part. When the love ego takes a hit, rejection, betrayal, or even just feeling unappreciated, it doesn't just hurt the mind. It hurts the body. You get that knot in your stomach, that heaviness in your chest, or random aches you can't explain. Some men even describe it as feeling physically sick. Why?
Nova's system doesn't separate emotional pain from physical pain.
Heartbreak, jealousy, or insecurity in love can trigger anxiety, sleeplessness, and those weird phantom pains all over your body. And when that love ego is bruised, men might react in extreme ways, shutting down, lashing out, or pretending they don't care when deep down they're breaking. It's the worst level of ego because it strikes at the core, not just what you do, but who you are to someone else. So, from the fragile seed to the transcendent self, the male ego goes through levels. And let's be real, most of us cycle through them daily. One moment we're enlightened, sipping tea and unbothered. The next moment we're yelling at the TV referee like he can hear us. The point isn't to kill the ego. It's to understand it, to laugh at it when it gets ridiculous, to check it when it gets defensive, and to grow with it when it pushes us forward. Because every ego is part of you, and managing it is a response. Of every man, keep in mind, guys, ego will help you grow only if you use it as fuel. And a man without an ego is incomplete. For more videos like this, subscribe to the X User.